In the early 2nd century AD, Rome turned its gaze north toward the Carpathian Mountains. The Dacian Wars began under Emperor Trajan, who sought to bring ancient Romania under Roman control. Dacia's wealth, especially in gold, tempted the empire. But beyond riches lay strategy. Securing the Danube frontier was vital for the Roman conquest to endure.
Dacia, a fierce kingdom in ancient Romania, was ruled by King Decebalus. He had already fought Rome during Domitian's reign, proving himself a formidable opponent. When Emperor Trajan rose to power, he vowed to finish the struggle. The Dacian Wars were not just battles of soldiers, but of wills. Rome's imperial ambition against a proud mountain kingdom defending its freedom.
In 101 AD, Emperor Trajan led his legions across the Danube River. Vast bridges of boats carried Rome's might into Dacian lands. The Roman conquest advanced with disciplined precision. Dacia's rugged terrain, however, offered natural defense. Valleys, forests, and fortresses in the Carpathians gave Decebalus the advantage of home ground, forcing Trajan to wage war with relentless determination.
The first clashes of the Dacian Wars erupted along the Danube frontier. Roman siege engines battered wooden forts, while Dacian warriors rained arrows from mountain ridges. Emperor Trajan commanded with calm precision, ensuring supply lines remained secure. For Rome, this was not merely conquest, but a test of imperial endurance against a land both wealthy and fiercely defended. King Decebalus proved a master of guerrilla tactics. He struck swiftly from forests, then vanished into mountains. Roman columns often found themselves ambushed in narrow valleys. Yet Trajan pressed forward, adapting Roman conquest methods to the harsh landscape of ancient Romania. The Dacian Wars became a struggle of attrition, where each hill and fortress had to be seized.
By late 101 AD, Rome struck at Tape, gateway to the Dacian heartland. The battle was fierce, echoing a Roman defeat decades earlier. This time, Emperor Trajan secured victory through discipline and superior numbers. The bloodshed at Tape marked a turning point in the Dacian Wars, forcing Decebalus to retreat deeper into the Carpathians to defend his mountain strongholds.
The winter of 101 to 102 AD saw both armies pause. Emperor Trajan built fortified camps along the Danube, ensuring Rome's grip tightened. Meanwhile, Decebalus rebuilt his strength, rallying Dacian warriors and seeking alliances with neighboring tribes. The Dacian Wars became more than Rome's campaign. It turned into a clash that drew in the peoples of the Carpathians and beyond. In spring 10A2 AD, Trajan renewed his assault. Roman conquest advanced towards Sarmizegetusa, the Dacian capital. Roads were carved into mountains, bridges spanned rivers, and legions moved with relentless precision. Yet Decebalus defended his homeland fiercely, using fortified citadels high in the Carpathians. Each Dacian stronghold became a symbol of defiance against the expanding power of Rome. As Rome closed in on his capital, Decebalus sued for peace. Emperor Trajan, recognizing the cost of prolonged war, agreed. The Treaty of 102 AD made Dacia a client kingdom, with Rome imposing conditions and seizing fortresses. Yet peace was fragile. The Dacian Wars had not ended. They had only paused, setting the stage for an even greater conflict. For 4 years, uneasy peace lingered. Rome fortified its frontier, while Decebalus secretly rebuilt his power. He restored fortresses, gathered weapons, and defied Roman demands. By 105 AD, his defiance forced Emperor Trajan to act once more. The Dacian Wars resumed, this time with the full weight of Roman conquest, determined to end Dacia's independence forever.
In 105 AD, Emperor Trajan launched his second campaign. This time, Rome built a marvel of engineering, the stone bridge across the Danube, designed by Apollodorus of Damascus. It became the largest in the ancient world. With this bridge, the Roman conquest could move swiftly into Dacian lands, signaling that the empire intended a permanent hold over ancient Romania.
The Dacians resisted with desperation. Decebalus rallied his warriors, using mountain strongholds as shields. Fierce battles erupted at Areshti, where Dacian fortresses crowned the Carpathians. But the legions pressed forward, their siege engines smashing walls of stone and timber. The Dacian Wars grew bloodier, with each fortress falling only after brutal assaults and heavy Roman casualties.
Emperor Trajan personally oversaw the campaign, directing operations from the front. His leadership inspired Roman legions, reminding them of Caesar and Augustus before him. For Trajan, the Dacian Wars were more than conquest, they were a legacy. Victory promised glory for Rome and security for the empire's Danube frontier, but failure would stain his reign forever.
Decebalus struck back with cunning raids. Dacian warriors cut Roman supply lines and harassed isolated garrisons. But Rome's vast resources outweighed these tactics. Emperor Trajan ordered the legions to construct new roads, fortresses, and supply depots, ensuring the Roman conquest could grind forward, no matter the resistance. The Dacian Wars became a war of persistence as much as force. The Roman advance reached Sarmizedusa once again. The Dacian capital, hidden deep in the mountains, stood as the last great obstacle. Fortified with stone walls and defended by elite warriors, it symbolized the independence of ancient Romania. To capture it meant the end of Dacian resistance, and Emperor Trajan prepared his legions for the decisive siege. The siege of Sarmizegetusa began with relentless fury. Roman catapults hurled flaming missiles, while legionaries dug trenches and built siege ramps. Decebalus's men fought desperately, countering with fire and ambush, yet the weight of Roman engineering pressed down. Day by day, the walls weakened, and the fate of the Dacian kingdom hung in the balance.
Finally, Roman forces broke through the defenses of Sarmizegetusa. The citadel burned, its walls collapsing under siege. Decebalus fled into the Carpathians, refusing to surrender. The Roman conquest had shattered Dacia's heart, but its king still roamed free, a symbol of resistance. Emperor Trajan ordered his legions to pursue him relentlessly across ancient Romania's rugged terrain. The hunt for Decebalus became legendary. Roman cavalry scoured valleys and forests, determined to end the war. At last, surrounded and with no escape, Decebalus chose death over capture. He took his own life in 106 AD. His defiance ended, but his memory endured as the last king who challenged Rome's might in the Carpathians. With Decebalus dead, Dacia fell. Emperor Trajan annexed the kingdom, declaring it a Roman province. The Dacian Wars had ended in triumph. Rome seized immense wealth, especially the rich gold mines, funding new monuments across the empire. The conquest of ancient Romania became one of the greatest victories of Trajan's reign, celebrated as a defining moment in Roman history.
In Rome, Trajan's victory was immortalized. The Senate awarded him a triumph, and he built Trajan's Column, its spiraling carvings depicting the Dacian Wars in vivid detail. Citizens marveled at the stories etched in stone, bridges, battles, and the fall of Decebalus. For the empire, the conquest of Dacia symbolized Rome's unmatched power at the height of its glory.